previous video, I want to talk about the importance of a report. It could be, for example, the report from me as a provider of an online service to you, or maybe a report that you can give to your customer. For example, he left you a review and or a complaint in your online marketing tools. And if you don't give him a feedback, it's like giving them a report back for what you're doing with the complaint, right? So what is the importance of a business report or report in general? So let's go over this. Business reports are valuable and essential tools for any enterprise, regardless of the size or industry. They provide means to track, analyze performance and overall health of your business while identifying areas for improvement and opportunities to grow. So how can you measure up or evaluate your own business if you don't have a reference? For example, if you cannot remember what happened last year, maybe you have a report from last year for how you have been doing in your business. How can you set up goals to achieve, right? So report is kind of very important. So business report also promotes transparency. So the public companies has to do this in a way to provide how they are doing to their stockholders, right? For example, in the case that you're not a public company, it also provides transparency for your client, for your business partner, for whatever. It provides a good faith on you and how you run your business, right? So if they complain about something, you give them a feedback. I'm doing this and this to try to fix it or try to improve it. So also it's a very good important point. Provide transparency. Analytic tools are incredible, powerful, and give you data you need to report on the success of your digital strategy. So in the digital environment, the digital world, we have analytics, right? We can measure about almost everything. So it's not easy, it's not difficult to provide report. So for example, if I'm running some ads for you, I can provide you how many people click on the ads, how many people went to your website, how many of them call you, or how many then are able actually to convert in the sales, right? So, but ultimately they are worthless. They are worthless if not put together into a strong reporting format and process. So these are the data. So if you're not able to understand the report, it's worthless. So you need to understand the context. The information needs to make sense. It should help to explain what's happening, right? So they're increasing sales in your company, right? So this is because you're running this ad, you have more conversions. It's also going to help you to make good decisions because you have data to base the decisions on. It's going to help you to predict what is ahead. So to see the future, if you're growing at this rate, so you're going to need more supplier like this, you're going to have to invest in that, you have to increase your capacity for this machinery or whatever that is going to help you to predict what is going to happen ahead in the future. Elements of building, elements to build into your report. So let's see what are the important elements. It's how you will measure success. For example, if you're comparing against sales targets or historical achievements, when comparing against historical data, there are a number of common comparisons, but each of these has a disadvantage which you must be aware of. It has, for example, it gives you a comparison, right? If you have a report from last year, now it's easy to compare for this year, for the next year. But if you don't have a report at all, how are you going to remember the data? How are you going to compare one data with the other? So let's see some of elements here. So year to on year. Comparison with last year results can be useful in showing growth over time and also ensure that any seasonal differences are almost eliminated. It does not, however, give true visibility of changes in market conditions since over 12 months ago, which many industries can be vast. So this is a time frame. For example, 12 months can be very too long for your kind of business, right? But it's a way of reporting. It's kind of give you a difference between year to year, but you need to understand what is best in your case, right? For example, if I'm running an ad for a company and I'm doing this year, I can have all the reports for month to month. I can compare, right? But maybe their industry is changing very fast, so it's not going to be a very useful year to year, right? Because 12 months can represent a very long time for them. And the other two elements are month to month or week on week. So month on month, this can be useful for reporting against budget on any growth or decline over the year. It does not, however, account for seasonal changes. In many industries, for example, January will always be stronger than December or vice versa. So this really tells us very little. For example, for some business, the Christmas time is very good, right? So maybe it's going to be a decline in January, but it does not measure for some kind of industries. Now let's see week on week. This can show very dynamic and recent fluctuation in data, which can be useful in seeing where changes have had an impact, but it also means that many other factors will be playing a part in fluctuation. And so pulling the data apart into actionable insights can be very difficult. So as you can see here, the different ways of reporting have advantages and disadvantages. You have to see the one is best fit for your business. Finally, considering the predictive analysis is important. Using the data to report historical is useful, but using the data to predict what will be coming is far more powerful. So the decisions you make today is going to affect your future of your business, right? So you have a power to predict what's going to happen in the future. You can make so much better decisions regarding the business that you're running. Now let's talk about the presentation of the report. When producing a report, presentation can be just as important as the data itself, ensuring that your audience can completely understand what they see, what it means to them, and what action they can take from. Because the presentation can make a difference of the people that you explain to be able to understand what you're trying to tell. In order to do this, you should be always keep in mind the following principles. Let's discuss those principles, okay? Tell a story. Every good story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you have to show the data, and the data has to tell a story. It has to be meaningful in the regarding of the context that you're trying to tell. For example, if I'm giving you a report on the data that I'm doing some advertisement for you, so it should tell you how the advertising is affecting the clients that come into your business. You should tell a story before the advertisement, after the advertisement, how the people are getting to know you more and more because of the advertising. So you should tell a story. So what? So if I just give you a piece of information and does not mean anything to you, you have to ask this kind of question. So what? This is a question you should always be asking yourself all the time. We achieved 10% of conversion rate this January. So what? Last year we achieved 9%. So what? So we have a 1% of increase. So what? So perhaps market conditions were difficult. So this increase actually represents a significant gain, even though it's only 1%. So by asking this question all the time, you can make a strong output from your data. It can make a reason for why it's happening like this. So it can give you an insight on the data. So this is why you have to be asking all the time, so what? Keep it simple. This is always a good principle in marketing. Never assume knowledge or that what is obvious to you is obvious to someone else. For example, I'm working with internet marketing, and maybe what I'm saying here is very obvious to me, but maybe not for you. So I should pay attention when I'm reporting to you, so that I explain and make it easy for you also to understand. This does not mean you need to dumb down the content, but that you need to communicate in a clear way. Okay, so have to keep it simple is the best policy. Graphics. Using graphics is to bring data to life. Is a very strong way of communicating your message, especially when dealing with time frames. For example, here we can see it's increasing, right? But if you just give you numbers, it's very hard to see it. So graphic actually bring the data to life. It's gonna make easier for you to understand. So my reports, actually I put some graphics on it so I can make it easier for people that I'm telling the story, be able to understand better, right? Understand easier. Label it up. Ensure your label everything clearly. It is easy to forget to add the axis on the chart or the label whether you're working on GBP or US dollars. Incorrect labeling can lead to incorrect assumptions, which can prove costly if not discovered before decisions are made. So these are very good principles when reporting. So, well, I have one more here. Check, check, and check again, right? You have to check the data. So you don't want to report anything that is incorrect, right? This is would be really bad. Finally, it's obvious, but always check your data. Numbers or reports produced with a faulty data, incorrect labeling, or unrealistic assumptions is astounding. And this is going to lead you for the data to, based on your decision, they're going to lead you to make maybe the wrong decisions. So checking the data is never too much, right? Okay, now I just talked to you about those principles that's going to help you to reporting data. So let's see now, for example, how I do report my clients on the service that I provide, which is internet or on digital marketing. And this is kind of is a general, right? Because it depends on the service that I provided the client. For example, let's say this is a January report of 2020 advertising for Doctor's Brown Pizzeria, right? So this would be kind of the general way I'm giving the report, right? So I put it here, right, to remember the importance of the service that I'm providing, right? So more online brand visibility, more positive customers review, strategy for short and long-term sales. This is why I'm providing the service, right? The digital marketing. So I'm just reminding them the importance of this, and now comes the numbers. For example, if I'm providing the service in brand, right? So, and this month you have a 1 new review. Your posts were seen by 513 people. Your brands gained 3 new followers on Facebook. Your mail marketing grew 4,500 people. Customers now, you got 70% of response from your referrals, 10 new referrals booked at the point. So I put the numbers here to show them the results of working with me, right? And now this is the customer later. So I provide several kind of services. And of course, if they hire just one, the report will be much simpler. But this is kind of the general package for all the reports. And then I put some graphics here to back it up, the information put it here. Remember, graphs bring the reports or the data to life, right? Remember, they have 1 year review, and this review are 5 stars. I just said it here, right? 1 year review, and this is the graphics showing the review. For example, if I'm providing a service of search engine visibility, so it will be Google My Business, SEO, NAP listing. I put it here, well, view of 2,813 new people, search your business. View on the map, 20,000 people view you on the map because we are listing your business there. So I'm putting here the graphic to show how is the online marketing or advertising is working for this business. Here's a new reviews, right? I already showed, going backwards, so okay. And this is the search engine visibility, so maybe this is some percentage of things. So I'm putting the graphs here based on the data, right? And here, social media, maybe 513 new people, right? So I put it here, the numbers, and right here, right? Your posts have been seen for 513 people. Here's the graph showing when this is happening. So this average new people seen every day. So this is the total for the month. And now here I put some calculations, right? So the guy have a 513%, 513 people more an engagement in the social media. Let's say, for example, last month was 2,000, this month is 2,400. This is a growth of 20. And this is the total engagement of 3,200 people. And I put in just some reporting here to tell them the story of how the online marketing is helping them, and also gives me the credibility that I'm being transparent with the service that I'm providing it. And this is the referral customer generation. And this is where we talk about the pipeline value. For example, if I give you one customer, so maybe one customer is gonna maybe start doing this simple thing in your business. David maybe gonna buy some more because of this, because you're gonna upsell more stuff in your business. So the average customer is gonna be spending maybe 70,000, right? They're gonna start with this course, the basic one. Maybe they're gonna go forward in the getting more knowledge if you're working in education, for example. And this is the average. For example, maybe just the cost of bringing one customer is going to be maybe $100, but it's going to be in the average for you represented 70,000 profit. So it's a really, really big deal and a good thing to actually invest in online advertising. This is what I'm talking about here. What is the value, pipeline value of a client or a customer? And then here's the wrap that up, right? Branding, customer now, customer later. Just put some few words here, kind of emphasizing what's most important. And here's what we're doing, right? Online visibility, more customers, a strategy for long term, recommendations for the future, whatever that is. And this is the end of the report. What it does for me is give me the credibility, the transparency. So if I don't give the report, how is my client going to know what am I doing for them? So it also gives the client the perspective if it is good for them to keep doing business with me, because I don't usually make a contract. So as long as you're happy with me, you can stay with me, right? So this is my way of me giving a transparency of the service that I'm providing. And also this is going to kind of emphasize that it's important for you as well as a business. For example, if you have a reputation management, so people are giving you a review for your business. So if you get back to them, give them answers. Well, I'm doing this to fix the problem, and I'm trying to fix it because they complain and they give you a bad review for you. So by you doing this, giving them a feedback, it means that you care about your business. Then and also you try to improve it. So they might even come back in your business to see if you fix the problem. So you may retain your customer. And this is another topic, right? Retaining your customer, because many clients actually sometimes just thinking about acquiring new clients, but don't think about retaining customers. I hope this video was enlightening for you, and maybe perhaps you want to do business with me, whatever that is. Feel free to make an appointment, to ask me, whatever. So I hope to see you in another video. See you. Bye-bye.